all
Right
under...
out.
People do that, though. They do rent pets out.
So I don't know.
Oh, we starting?
Yeah,
Oh.
sorry.
Back. Alright. February 24th, 3:12 p.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices.
Sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said.
But we'll never hear what her sister said. Her sister was
She's closed!
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. Bruh.
Oh. I never knew that the SL9 incident was another name for the Joe Dark killings.
Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings, but
Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me.
what do you mean what happened to you?
It's all in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was prosecutor Neil Marshall when he murdered Officer Marshall's brother. He left behind an incriminating piece of evidence.
But what did you have to do with those killings?
On the night prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me.
What? He tried to kill you?
Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me.
So that means you...
Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial.
I didn't see that one coming.
So how many people did Joe Dark kill? Was it 9? Oh, okay. I thought they were gonna say SL9 because it was a serial killing of 9. But no.
Well, I don't. Usually the case identification, so may have been to do with the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call me Lana?
Wow. Wow.
Anna, Emma, same thing.
Hey, Emma! See this? It's my attorney's badge.
Well, I've never seen a real one before.
First one who's actually been interested in mine, believe me.
It's composition and
Phoenix.
mostly silver.
What is it with you and teenage girls?
And showing them your badge.
Just had like a really dark conversation, and Phoenix over here like kind of talking, being like, "Look at my badge" right afterwards.
I mean, it works.
Yeah, that sucks you almost got killed, but hey, take a look at my badge though. Yeah, boy!
Stuff is pretty expensive.
You don't say. How much?
I'd say about $10 per gram. I save up my allowance to buy it.
Your allowance? Does your sister give you that?
Yes. We don't have parents.
Right.
Sometimes she even gives me a bottle instead of my allowance.
Bottle of criminal testing fluid. Man, I'd just take the allowance myself. Even if she's still offering.
You're already getting paid for this, Mr. Wright. It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day. Unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office.
Joe Dark.
It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up.
Jake Marshall's brother.
Joe Dark tried to take me hostage. But before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then...
What happened?
I'll never forget it. Lightning struck, and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now.
Permanent picture.
That's Mr. Marshall.
So you weren't able to testify about that?
I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime.
Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence?
The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence, and Mr. Edgeworth used it.
Edgeworth?
Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. It's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened.
So it's true, even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying it.
The ends justify the means.
After the case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold, like she is today.
She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma.
She just doesn't understand the ends justify the means.
What did you see in the instant that crime occurred?
And raised his knife.
Neil Marshall stabbed right in front of this poor girl.
I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms.
Poor Emma, you've been through so much.
Myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good.
2 years ago, you must have been 14. That's understandable.
Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd be a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crimes with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any.
I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes it tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma.
What is it?
You said you were in Lana's office at the time, right?
That's right.
Why, then, would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor?
There's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day.
Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police?
Of course. This happened at the police department. She tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office.
But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office?
Because the detective offices and the questioning room are right across from the elevator.
Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she?
No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective.
Baka.
You
What?
silly.
Dum-dum. He was the best in the entire force.
What? That's news to me.
After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor.
Lana used to be a detective? I'd better have another talk with her.
Have you been a detective to a prosecutor?
It seems everything is somehow related.
The SL9 incident?
Yes, the name of everyone connected to this trial. All that's left is to figure out just what role everyone plays in. If we search hard enough, I think we'll find our answers. What exactly did or didn't Lana?
Everything.
February 24th! The Chanton Center Visitors Room.
Wow. Making such a lovely voice after the serious topic.
Lana
Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble.
Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type.
Criminals don't mind playing fool. Why should we?
If you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty.
Believe me, I understand the risks.
Lana. Emma told me about you. About how you were a detective 2 years ago. And how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office.
That's right.
Could you fill me in on the details? Especially about that unusual change of jobs.
I suppose you have the right to know, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, obviously.
Always. Top priority.
Mandatory.
Attorneys and prosecutors have no business showing evidence outside of court. It's taboo, especially when the interests of both parties are involved.
She really means it.
Bash?
A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago.
Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be.
Thicker, wasn't it? Keep with you, Ilana. I believe that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth.
It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul.
Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department.
It's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said about you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us?
Emma, this doesn't involve just me.
I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so fazed before.
It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago.
It was amazing. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together.
Chief Gant?
He was deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be.
Crimes before the report could even be filed.
Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened?
I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was
experience investigating crime scenes, so you could use that experience in court, right?
Grant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to his resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office.
Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of yours 2 years ago.
2 years ago, I was second command of detectives investigating Dark.
Second in command. That means the investigation lead was Damon Gantz, right?
Yes. Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations.
They even had the same office.
They were office mates. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him, we were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place.
When he tried to murder Emma.
Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark.
You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me.
Now you tell us.
Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So, we waited until Gant and Marshall let the guards down, then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself.
That's where he found me.
So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana?
It appears so. I was filing some papers when Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. When I returned to my office, I found 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood.
3 bodies?
Prosecute. That's not me.
Prosecutor Marshall, victim Emma, who had passed out,
Suspect Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seemed Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and laid unconscious.
what did you do?
To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her.
Can't blame her, after all her sister must have gone through.
After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest.
Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident?
That's right. Quite a coincidence.
I don't buy it.
What are you saying?
There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance.
But that case was solved 2 years ago.
At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved.
Officer Marshall, yes. His actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely.
That fits with the ruling against Joe Dark.
Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their life with their memories.
That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right?
Yes, in the office that Damon and Kanta I share. The office that Mr. Grant now occupies by himself. The chief's office.
Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder.
February 24th. Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department.
I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere.
It's kind of quiet around here today.
You're right. The chief of detectives seems the same, though.
Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to?
Right. We can come back here later.
February 24th. Police Department entrance.
Howdy, Bambino.
Sir Marshall!
I never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning. Okay, so you never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambino? Should have known my luck would run up when old Billy dried up this morning.
I think she said it.
Yeah,
Must be his pet's cactus. Say, where are you headed?
Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance. We all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner.
Marshall? But why did you do it?
Why do prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one.
Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, Would you mind telling us exactly what happened?
It's like I won't be getting a steak lunch today.
Sure. Could you please have a look at this?
Sorry, Bambina. I'm not a patrolman anymore, and I'm certainly not a detective. I'm nothing more than a wanted man now. These old eyes of mine have seen too much as it is. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so.
What do you mean, fishy?
Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon.
The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip?
That was Joe Dark's, alright. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained.
What does that mean?
It means there's a good chance that that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased.
Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence?
That case left behind scars on all of us.
Scars that the SL9 incident left behind.
I got the looks, but he got the brains. He's one of the best prosecutors around. I had just been made detective when it went down. It was our first case together.
T, your brother.
He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day.
The highest honor? You mean the...
King of prosecutors.
I knew it.
What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor.
Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother.
SL9 incident took place. That wasn't the same day as...
That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal.
Interesting.
It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall, there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die.
Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty.
There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Mrs. Starr was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room.
What about Detective Goodman?
If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious.
They?
Thinking about.
Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Skye. The investigation lead, Damon Gant, and his second-in-command, Lana Skye. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers.
After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right?
Yeah, Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for it to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Skye was totally different when she was a detective.
Now that he mentioned it, Emma said something like that too.
To my sister.
Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out.
Lana's secret. It all started 2 years ago.
So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner?
It was certainly enlightening.
There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. Someone else was the one who gave him that evidence, planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? But I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Too bad I won't be around to work with you. When you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina.
Sir.
Oh.
He rides into the west.
He rides off into the sunset.
There was like fake ponies like on the stick.
He presses like the ear and it starts playing galloping noises.
Oh.
February 24th, prosecutor's office, underground parking lot.
No one's here today. Not even Miss Starr.
Just looking into what happened down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are.
But we proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m.
Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case.
But instead it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. I've got to find all the answers by tomorrow.
How long are we gonna keep playing?
Good question, actually.
It's 11:30.
We stop in like 5 minutes.
Alright.
February 24th. High Prosecutor's Office, Room 1202.
Mr. Edgeworth isn't here.
Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee? He took a real beating in court today.
Yeah, with Lana admitting to falsifying evidence 2 years ago.
I guess we'll just have to come back later.
February 24th. Police Station Criminal Affairs Department.
This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted.
That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes.
Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room.
Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us.
With the chief prosecutor saying what you did, and a decision about what to do, about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial, there's more food, chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together.
I think festive is the word usually used for those.
Sir, we'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office.
Just use the connecting hallway in the other building and take the elevator to the top floor.
Really? You mean, it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything.
Hey,
I think this guy is either.
hey, you can't go in there. It's off limits.
Dang it, Emma.
Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm.
Like gun like shoe.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office.
What?
No, let's definitely not
I mean,
head to
I
the
said,
chief's office. There's
Chief's
definitely
office?
nothing in there.
Chef's
relevant
office.
to our
That's what she
case.
meant. Chef.
Yes, the chef. Please
chef,
send my
yes.
compliments to the chef.
February 24th. Police Department Chief's Office.
Dun dun dun.
They lied.
That's not like you put cheese. Also, why is there an organ?
Because.
Yes. Whoa, where am I?
In the chief's office, silly. At least, that's what it said on the door.
Does this look like an office to you? Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it?
I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Bop. I thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. I never could remember where C was.
Ouch. Oh, it's you.
Chief Gant! He put that paper he was reading in his desk.
So, righto! Have you been swimming lately?
No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately.
I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too with Mr. Marshall's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement.
Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence?
2 years have passed since then. My, how the time flies. See the big picture over on the wall over there? That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me.
So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
We took it to commemorate our work together.
Something's not right with this picture.
Damn, that is a shiny spear.
I can't quite seem to put my finger on it though.
Anyways, I'd like to reminisce all day, but alas, there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together.
Did it cut me out?
Yeah.
Nope.
I couldn't hear you, little lady.
You'll have to speak up.
What's that, Emma?
I know how intimidating I can be.
This. It was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't fake news. That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore.
All the same, we'd still like to have a look around.
Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Just slipping now.
Like we aren't welcome.
It seems that case isn't over with yet, after all.
What do you mean?
Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in.
You mean like clue?
More than a clue. There's got to be a way we can get inside the chief's office.
Right.
Alright.
Go find out what
Yeah.
might be in the office.
You know, you could just tell us.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Fine, Ganto.
Spoilers.
Hate all of Critton's voice acting. I appreciate all of Critton's voice acting.
I